the Atlas.ti people have extensive YouTube videos. You can sit down and go piece by piece through it and train yourself on how to use it. I really enjoyed using it. At that particular time, I did not analyze the video through it. That was done by hand. But I mean, it was done through, what I did was I observed it, captured my reactions through the written word, and then uploaded those documents into Atlas.ti rather than uploading the video in there. But in the future, the video can be uploaded into Atlas.ti in order to do a data analysis on it that way. It doesn't make it any less valuable or meaningful. It was just a different way of doing it. It also has a systematic qualitative data analysis. It develops the primary elements and the interpretation and the meaning of the data and useful knowledge. And then also dependable qualitative research increase the validity at conceptual analysis stage, not limited to content or subject matter from any discipline. So it's also able to handle data from a variety of different disciplines, not necessarily social sciences or human sciences. And what I really enjoyed about it was that you can take a theory such as attachment theory and code in the final analysis to determine whether or not the data and the patterns that came out of the coding supported attachment theory. So this is how, this is a model of how this particular data analysis transpired. With Atlas.ti, there's a German professor by the name of Suzanne Fries that's written a book about Atlas.ti and goes into quite a bit of detail on the defensibility of using data analysis and qualitative research. And in there, she quotes other researchers who use the NCT, which is noticing, collecting, and thinking. And you'll notice that the pattern is very circular. And so you repeat the pattern until you find a level of saturation. And what the saturation means, you've gone through it, you've gone through it, you've gone through it, and nothing new is popping up at that point in time. So that's saturation. This is how the code mapping, there were 3 iterations of analysis. First, it was uploaded, demographic data, diary data analysis, my own reactions to the videos. Then there was an initial coding and a process coding in this first iteration. And basically, it's exactly what it means, initial and surface content analysis. So looking at it from the surface, having more broad categories and coding in the different areas. And then when we move into the second one, where the pattern variables, it's taking a look at those broad categories and seeing patterns in them, as well as the in vivo, the literal coding, to determine the pattern coding. And then going into the third iteration is where the theoretical coding come in, or the code mapping, taking a look at what was actually happening and how, whether or not it supported the constructs of attachment theory. I'm checking this side just in case there's any questions that pop up over there as I'm going through. So the next question is, why infant massage? And I had, as I said, had done a critical review in 2010 on infant massage, and there were so many benefits of infant massage. As a matter of fact, there is no research to date that shows that infant massage produces any kind of a harmful threat, or that there is any negative consequences to massaging a baby. But the further reasons for picking infant massage is, first of all, attachment is the result of specific behaviors reinforcing a relationship over time, which equals commitment, or I like to call it the stick factor. So in other words, when we behave a certain way to another human being, and in this case we're talking about babies and their caregivers, it could actually be you and your romantic partner. You know, when we behave in a certain predictable pattern and we do certain things, this creates attachment over a long period of time. And bonding is the biochemical reaction or the chemistry between two human beings, which ignites through the five senses. And this is one of the reasons for infant massage. Infant massage provides the behavior that can be consistent over time, but it also provides the opportunity for bonding, which happens through the five senses. When a parent or a caregiver massages the baby, they can smell the baby, they touch the baby, they talk to the baby, they see the baby, and in some cases, parents, when they're kissing the baby, may even taste the baby. And so during this particular time, and we know that actually touch in the human skin is the largest organ of the body, so it really creates an intensive sensory experience during a massage. So now I'm going into the results area and looking at the time of day. One of the things that became apparent right off the bat was that one of the fathers said something to the mother, and like I said, the mothers were not present at the time the babies were being massaged, but the mother made a comment to the father that she noticed that the baby sleeps better after massage, so this particular father decided to change the time of day that he was massaging the baby. And another father noticed in the evening that his baby seemed to like being massaged better when it was on its stomach. Now that sensitivity is one of the attachment constructs. The duration, these are actual quotes back from the fathers. He tried to be as consistent as possible. He did decide to do the massage 4 to 5 times a day, depending if she was in the mood. She was the only little girl in the study. And the more we did the massage for about 5 minutes, I felt like she enjoyed it more. Another father said he liked the shorter massages, and he noticed that he didn't. Now this father, they stand out to me. This particular father was very verbal during his interviews, and his baby was very verbal. I had instructed the fathers that, they were in control, and so if the baby started to cry, that there's a difference between them fussing because something new happened and them crying because they were uncomfortable or in pain, and that they should trust themselves. And this father's baby did a lot of fussy crying. He kind of bordered on it, but he wasn't in pain exactly. And so what we realized afterwards was that his baby was very verbal, and it wasn't until he saw the pre-video and the second video that he realized how much more comfortable the baby had gotten, because the type of fussy that he gave us, or verbal feedback that he gave us, was so much different during that 3-week period that you could tell that he was kind of communicating about his experience, but it wasn't a negative thing. And so as that 3 weeks went on, as you can see from this quote, Father had begun to feel more comfortable with it because he had shortened the massages, and evidently the stimulation for this baby needed to be shorter rather than longer. These are the demographics of the fathers. As you can see, we had 2 fathers in their 30s. Had 2 fathers who were under 25 and one just over. 3 of the fathers were married. The other 2 were living with a partner, and that was the requirement of the study, that they had to be cohabitating at the time of the baby's birth and also during the research. The race, we had 3 Caucasian men and 2 African American men. And then their level of education, and as you can see, the fathers who were in college level, with the exception of one, were of course, well, actually there were 4 fathers of college level. 2 of them were earning less than $25,000. They were full-time students. The college fathers who were earning more than $25,000 already had their college degree and were out earning in their chosen field. And then we had a graduate father who was working on his PhD, which he just received this year, and his earning level, as you can see at the particular time, was also in the lower category. And as I stated, we only had 1 baby who was female, the other 4 were male. Body parts. This is what was so relevant to supporting attachment theory. The fathers were very sensitive and also adjusted. They adjusted time of day. They adjusted the body part that they, I had to get my cat down. The body part that they massaged, as well as were sensitive enough to notice that the breathing changed in his baby, so he, adjusted both the touch and the pressure. He liked doing short stomach massage on behalf of the gas. And, this is where I recorded the treatment, okay. And then also, we had a father who noticed a change in the eye contact between him and his baby. And he said that he realized that, that on the days that he didn't seem to be looking at him, he would start to do so. This is the pattern coding. And what came out in the pattern coding was the father's motivation, why they, how they felt about infant massage and what their desire was. And fathers liked that during this time they spent with their babies, that they got time to spend with the baby, but they also liked that the mother got some time to herself. Father adjusted the time of day according to meet the mother's needs as well as to meet the baby's needs, which showed a desire to both please the mother and the baby. And then the fathers got that one-on-one time that they so desired. Many of the fathers, all 5 of the fathers, and during that initial interview, I can't remember if I put it in the slides or not, so forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and jump back to this in case it's not in here. When I asked them why they